Drive-in restaurants were once a normal part of American life. They were bright, exciting, and full of energy. Imagine pulling into a glowing parking lot at night. Neon lights shining. Music playing softly from car radios. A friendly car hop skating toward you with a tray of food. This was not just eating. This was an experience. Stay with this story until the very end, because these forgotten restaurants reveal a world that feels almost unbelievable today. In the 1960s, America was deeply in love with cars. Automobiles were not just machines. They were freedom, identity, and pride. Teenagers counted the days until they could drive. Families spent weekends cruising. Entire towns were built around roads, highways, and parking lots. And right at the center of this car-focused culture stood the drive-in restaurant. Unlike modern fast food, drive-ins were designed around the vehicle itself. You did not rush inside. You stayed in your car. You parked, relaxed, and waited. Service came to you. Food arrived on metal trays that hooked onto your window. Everything felt easy, comfortable, and exciting. Drive-ins were more than restaurants. They were social hubs. Teenagers gathered there after school. Friends met on weekend nights. First dates often happened in parked cars under glowing signs. The parking lot became a stage where people talked, laughed, and showed off their vehicles. What made drive-ins special was not just the food. The menus were simple: burgers, hot dogs, fries, shakes, and root beer. The real magic was the atmosphere, the lights, the movement, the music, the feeling that you were part of something lively and modern. The 1960s marked the peak of this culture. Drive-ins were everywhere. Some were small local spots. Others were growing chains with recognizable designs and branding. Many of these names once dominated American roads but later vanished. One Dog N Suds. Dog N Suds became one of the most memorable drive-in chains of the era. Found mainly across the Midwest, it perfectly captured the spirit of roadside dining. The buildings were instantly recognizable, often featuring distinctive A-frame designs that stood out along highways and suburban streets. Customers would pull under large covered canopies and park their cars. There was no need to leave the vehicle. A car hop would walk, or sometimes skate, directly to the window to take the order. The experience felt personal and welcoming. The main attraction at Dog N Suds was the root beer. Served in heavy frosted glass mugs, the drink was cold, creamy, and refreshing. Many customers visited specifically for that root beer. It was not just a beverage. It was a signature experience. The menu focused on familiar comfort food. Hot dogs, burgers, fries, onion rings. Everything simple, everything satisfying. Nothing complicated. The goal was not fancy dining. It was enjoyable, relaxed eating. Dog N Suds locations often became gathering places for local teenagers. Weekend evenings brought lines of cars into the parking lot. Engines idling. Windows rolled down. Conversations moving from one vehicle to another. At its peak, Dog N Suds operated hundreds of locations. But as new restaurant models emerged, competition increased. Indoor dining grew more popular. Large chains expanded aggressively. Over time, most Dog N Suds restaurants disappeared. Today, only a few survive, quiet reminders of a once dominant brand. He kept two Sandies. Sandies entered the scene as a rapidly growing burger chain. Founded in the 1950s, it gained strong momentum during the 1960s. Its buildings looked strikingly similar to early McDonald's locations, often using bold red and white designs with arch-like features. For many towns, Sandies became the first introduction to fast-style dining. The menu was simple and affordable. Burgers, fries, shakes. Service was quick. Prices were low. A burger cost only a handful of cents, making it accessible for families and teenagers alike. The chain's mascot, Sandy, added personality to the brand. A cheerful boy dressed in a Scottish kilt, the character created a playful and memorable identity. Customers recognized him instantly. Sandies expanded through the Midwest and South, growing to hundreds of locations. The restaurants were clean, efficient, and modern for their time. They reflected a changing America that valued speed and convenience. Teenagers treated Sandies as social spaces. Cars filled the parking lots. Friends gathered. First dates unfolded. Conversations lasted long after meals ended. But Sandies faced a powerful rival. McDonald's expanded faster and more efficiently. Standardized operations and aggressive growth allowed McDonald's to dominate. Eventually, Sandies was sold. Most locations were converted or closed. The brand disappeared completely. Yet for many Americans, Sandies was their first taste of fast dining culture. Drive-ins like N Suds and Sandies were not isolated businesses. They were part of a larger cultural shift. America was changing. Cars were shaping lifestyles. Dining habits were evolving. And the drive-in restaurant became one of the most visible symbols of this transformation. These restaurants represented a unique blend of movement and comfort. You could travel freely yet remain relaxed. Eat dinner without leaving your seat. Meet friends without formal plans. But this golden era would not last forever. 3. Carrols. Carrols became one of the most successful drive-in chains in the Northeast. Starting in New York, the brand expanded rapidly during the 1960s. For many communities, Carrols was everywhere. The restaurants offered a mix of drive-in service and indoor seating. This flexibility helped attract a wide range of customers. Still, the drive-in experience remained central to its identity. One of the chain's most popular items was the Club Burger, a double-layered burger designed to compete with other well-known creations of the era. It became a signature product that customers remembered. Carrols locations featured bold, distinctive colors. Often using orange and brown tones, the buildings stood out clearly along busy roads. The design was modern yet inviting. Teenagers quickly adopted Carrols as a favorite hangout. After-school visits became routine. Weekend evenings filled parking lots with cars. Friends gathered, talked, laughed, and lingered long after finishing meals. The menu focused on familiar comfort food: burgers, fries, shakes, sandwiches. Nothing complicated, everything reliable. At its peak, Carrols operated hundreds of locations. But rapid expansion created financial strain. Growth was expensive. Competition was increasing. Larger chains were moving aggressively into new markets. Eventually, Carrols was sold. Most locations were converted into other brands. The Carrols name slowly disappeared. For many Americans in the Northeast, Carrols defined an era of casual dining and teenage social life. 4. Stewart's Root Beer Drive-ins. Stewart's carried a much longer history, but the 1960s marked one of its most visible peaks. Known primarily for its root beer, Stewart's drive-ins became beloved gathering spots across America. The root beer defined everything. Thick, creamy, sweet, and served ice-cold in heavy frosted mugs. The drink was refreshing, especially on warm evenings. Customers pulled into parking spaces and waited, often flashing headlights to signal for service. A car hop would approach, sometimes gliding smoothly on roller skates. The experience felt friendly and personal. Orders were taken at the window. Trays delivered carefully. Glass mugs handled with precision. Root beer floats became legendary. Vanilla ice cream slowly melting into cold root beer created a drink many people still remember vividly decades later. Stewart's drive-ins were more than beverage stands. They served burgers, hot dogs, fries, sandwiches. But the root beer remained the main attraction. The buildings themselves became visual icons. Many featured bright orange roofs that made them instantly recognizable from a distance. Travelers could spot a Stewart's drive-in long before reaching it. Teenagers treated Stewart's as social centers. Weekend nights brought crowds of cars. Friends gathered under glowing signs. Music and conversation filled the air. Families also formed strong connections. Summer evenings often meant a visit for root beer and simple meals. Children grew up associating Stewart's with comfort and routine. Though Stewart's root beer survived as a retail product, most physical drive-in locations gradually vanished. Indoor dining became more popular. Consumer habits shifted. Yet for those who experienced it, Stewart's remains deeply tied to memories of youth, summer nights, and classic American car culture. 5. Henry's. Henry's became one of the most recognizable drive-in chains in California during the late 1950s and early 1960s. The restaurants stood out immediately, not just because of their service style, but because of their architecture. Henry's buildings followed the Googie design trend that dominated Southern California. These structures featured dramatic angles, sweeping rooflines, sharp edges, and bold geometric shapes. The buildings looked fast even when standing still. Pulling into a Henry's parking lot felt exciting. The design alone created anticipation. The menu offered classic drive-in favorites: burgers, fries, shakes, malts. Nothing overly complicated. Everything designed for quick preparation and easy enjoyment. The food was good. Prices were reasonable. But like many drive-ins, the real attraction was the atmosphere. Teenagers adopted Henry's as a social destination. Weekend nights brought lines of cars into the lot. Engines idling. Music playing. Conversations flowing between vehicles. Cars were part of the entertainment. Young drivers proudly displayed polished paint, chrome details, and custom modifications. The parking lot became a rotating car show. Henry's thrived during a time when California's youth culture was exploding. Surf culture, hot rod culture, rock and roll, everything blended together in these brightly lit spaces. But competition arrived quickly. Larger chains like McDonald's expanded aggressively. Their business models focused on extreme efficiency, rapid expansion, and heavy standardization. Henry's, like many regional chains, struggled to keep pace. Growth required capital. Expansion required scale. Henry's could not compete long-term. By the early 1970s, most Henry's locations disappeared. Today, the name survives mostly in photographs, old advertisements, and fading memories. 6. Biff Burgers. While Henry's thrived in California, Biff Burger became a major presence in the southern United States, especially Florida. The chain represented another important piece of 1960s drive-in culture. Biff Burger specialized in flame-broiled hamburgers. This cooking style created a smoky, grilled flavor that distinguished the brand from competitors using flat-top grills. Advertising proudly highlighted that charbroiled taste. Customers noticed the difference. The menu remained simple: burgers, fries, sandwiches, desserts. The focus was not variety. It was consistency and flavor. Many Biff Burger locations embraced the drive-in model. Customers pulled into parking spaces and waited for service. Car hops delivered food directly to vehicles. In Florida's warm climate, outdoor dining felt natural. Cars lined up under bright signs. Families stopped for affordable meals. Teenagers gathered after school. Biff Burger built strong regional loyalty. For many communities, it became a familiar and trusted presence. The brand's visual identity helped reinforce recognition. Clean designs, bold signage, and memorable logos made locations stand out along busy roads. Parking lots often filled with a mix of families and young drivers. The drive-in once again became a shared social space, but expansion proved challenging. The restaurant industry was becoming increasingly competitive. National chains grew larger, faster, and more dominant. Standardization and franchising transformed the business landscape. Smaller chains faced mounting pressure. Biff Burger gradually declined through the 1970s and 1980s. Many locations closed. Others converted to different brands. Only a small number survived. Yet for those who experienced it, Biff Burger remains closely tied to memories of family outings, casual meals, and Southern drive-in culture. 7. Steak and Shake. Steak and Shake is widely known today, but in the 1960s, it carried a very different identity. Many locations operated with a strong drive-in model. Customers pulled into parking spaces, remained inside their cars, and received service directly at the window. The buildings were instantly recognizable. Bold black and white color schemes created a clean, striking visual presence. The design felt modern and confident. The chain's specialty was the steak bega. Unlike standard hamburgers, steak begas were made from higher quality beef trimmings. The taste was richer. The texture felt more substantial. Customers noticed the difference. Milkshakes became another defining feature. Thick, creamy, And hand-dipped, these shakes were far from the thin, machine-dispensed drinks that later became common. The combination of steak burgers and real milkshakes created strong loyalty. The drive-in experience enhanced everything. Car hops delivered trays carefully. Food arrived hot. Drinks were cold. The interaction felt personal. Teenagers treated Steak and Shake as a favorite gathering place. Weekend nights brought lines of cars into the lot. Engines humming. Music playing softly. Conversations drifting through open windows. Families also embraced the chain. The menu offered familiar comfort food at reasonable prices. The atmosphere felt relaxed and welcoming. What allowed Steak and Shake to survive long-term was its ability to adapt. As indoor dining grew more popular, the chain gradually shifted toward table service. Customers moved inside. Traditional seating replaced car window trays. The brand evolved with changing preferences. But the classic drive-in rhythm of the 1960s slowly faded away. For many customers, those early years remain the most memorable. 8 Mel's Drive-In. Few drive-in restaurants became as culturally iconic as Mel's Drive-In. Located in California, Mel's captured the heart of American youth culture during the late 1950s and 1960s. Mel's represented everything people imagined when thinking about classic American drive-ins. Bright lights. Classic cars. Teenagers gathering at night. The restaurants featured traditional drive-in layouts. Customers pulled into parking spaces. Car hops approached vehicles. Trays hooked onto windows. The menu focused on familiar favorites. Burgers, fries, shakes, sandwiches. Comfort food designed for quick preparation and easy enjoyment. But again, the true attraction was the scene. Mel's parking lots became gathering spots for California's car-loving youth. Hot rods, custom cars, polished chrome. The vehicles themselves became part of the entertainment. Teenagers did not simply eat at Mel's. They socialized. They cruised. They lingered. Mel's Drive-In later gained national fame through its connection to popular film culture. But the real locations existed long before Hollywood brought wider attention. Like many drive-ins, Mel's faced mounting pressure as dining habits shifted. Indoor restaurants became more comfortable. Drive-through models offered speed. Operating costs changed. The original Mel's Drive-In locations gradually closed during the 1970s. The brand eventually returned in a different form, nostalgia-themed diners designed to recreate the spirit of the past. But the original 1960s drive-ins, with their natural energy and unscripted social scenes, disappeared. Keycap 9 Big Boy drive-in locations. Big Boy restaurants became famous across America, but many people forget how strongly the brand was connected to the drive-in experience during the 1960s. While the chain is often remembered for its indoor dining rooms, numerous locations operated with full drive-in service. Customers would pull into parking spaces, just like at other classic drive-ins. A car hop would approach the vehicle. Orders were taken at the window. Food arrived on trays that hooked onto the car door. The experience felt familiar, yet Big Boy carried a distinct identity. The most visible symbol was impossible to miss. The Big Boy statue. Standing proudly outside many locations, the smiling figure holding a burger became one of the most recognizable restaurant images in American history. For children, it was exciting. For travelers, it was instantly identifiable. For teenagers, it became part of the visual landscape of youth culture. Big Boy's signature menu item was the Big Boy hamburger, a double-decker burger that stood out during an era when layered burgers still felt new and innovative. 2 patties, special sauce, cheese, lettuce. The structure itself made the burger memorable. The chain blended fast-style food with a slightly more traditional restaurant feel. Customers could eat in their cars or sit at outdoor tables. This flexibility helped Big Boy reach a wide audience. Families embraced Big Boy. Teenagers gathered there. Travelers recognized it from the road. Like other drive-ins, Big Boy parking lots became scenes of everyday American life. Cars lined up under glowing signs. Friends talked between vehicles. Families enjoyed relaxed meals. What made Big Boy especially interesting was its regional variations. In California, Bob's Big Boy became iconic. In the Midwest, Elias Brothers' Big Boy built strong loyalty. In the South, Shoney's Big Boy developed its own identity. Despite these differences, the core experience remained consistent. Friendly service, simple comfort food, strong visual branding. As the 1970s arrived, Big Boy followed the same path as many others. Drive-in service gradually declined. Indoor dining became dominant. Traditional seating replaced trays on car windows. The statue remained. The burgers remained. But the drive-in rhythm slowly disappeared. If this journey into America's forgotten drive-in world brought back memories or sparked curiosity, share your thoughts below. Which of these restaurants feels the most fascinating? Which part of the drive-in experience feels almost unbelievable today? And if you enjoy rediscovering lost pieces of everyday history, stay connected for more stories that bring the past back to life.